In the near future, 8 gamers receive mysterious messages inviting them to participate in a new game called The Call Up, which promises a prize of $100,000. They go to the 25th floor of a fancy building in the city, and once everyone has arrived, a robot voice tells them to sign in on a tablet. Then they're asked to put all their clothes and personal objects in the lockers and to wear the provided motion capture suits. While they change, Adam is teased because he's too big for such tight suits, Carl reveals a nasty burnt scar, and Andre explains he used to be a soldier. When everyone is ready, they move into a room with a scanner. The voice tells them to step on the scanner and say their usernames, then they can pick up their new equipment. It's an advanced gear suit with a VR helmet that attaches to their spines for full immersion, which Adam thought was only available for the elites. Everyone puts on their gear quickly except for Zahid, a Bosnian Muslim who chose the nickname terrorist ironically without knowing everyone would see it on the suit. He doesn't want to play like this and tries to leave, but the door is locked and nobody comes when he asks for help. The other gamers convince him it's not a big deal, so Zahid agrees to play. The voice announces the start of the training module and everyone closes their helmets for the simulation to begin. The room transforms into an extremely realistic post-apocalyptic world, their suits are replaced with military uniforms, and their tattoos disappear. Although it feels real, their hands go right through the objects in the simulation. At that moment the sergeant appears and starts treating them like new privates. They can't touch him either, and raising their helmets confirms he isn't in the room, he's just a very realistic NPC. The group follows the sergeant into another room where they get their weapons, which in real life are just props. The sergeant asks them to test their weapons on a bunch of bottles and the players are impressed by the realistic recoil. After they practice for a while, the sergeant shoots 2 of them, which causes them to lose their vests. Since it's only a tutorial, they immediately get them back as the sergeant explains getting hit just once means losing their protection and leaving them exposed. If they get hurt after losing the vest, they can use a special serum injection, but they only get 1 each. This building has been overrun by dangerous terrorists, so the group's first mission is to take them out and get to the ground floor alive. Those who succeed will get the cash prize in real life. After the sergeant disappears, Andre decides to lead the group because of his experience and gives them tips on how to stay stealthy. They look around the different rooms until an enemy appears in the corridor and opens fire. Most of the group hides, but Andre moves fast and kills the guy. While the voice announces that they've completed level 25 and all the points are for Andre, they touch the body and confirm it's also an NPC. When they take the stairs, they discover there's a mechanism that will electrocute them if they try to leave without finishing the level. The group enters level 24 and finds more advanced weapons, so Andre teaches them how to use them. They move into the main room and Marco kills the first enemy that appears. Gaining confidence, most of the players begin running around and using random objects for cover while bringing down all the terrorists. Adam wastes all his bullets without landing a single shot, so Andre cuts in to shoot the guy and gets hit in return, so he loses his vest. Meanwhile, Taylor is having a panic attack. It turns out that a friend of hers received the invitation and she came in her place, but she can't handle the game's realism. Shelley tries to comfort her and remind her that this is just a game, but when it's her turn to shoot someone she can't do it either. The terrorist approaching the girls is killed by Carl, who is then shot and loses his vest too. Carl tries to surrender, but the enemy shoots him again, so Shelley runs out to kill the guy. Both Carl and Shelley open their helmets, and even in real life, Carl can feel the unbearable pain. They return to the game and Andre injects Carl with the serum to instantly heal him. A traumatized Carl opens his helmet again to throw up in real life and says this can't be a game. Afterward, the whole group opens their helmets to take a break. While Adam finds new weapons, Carl explains he felt real shocks and theorizes this must be a reality TV show. Zahid panics and tries to take off his suit but can't, so Marco thinks it's a test. Then Zahid points out this could be an experiment by the military and Marco agrees, saying that Andre must be their inside man. An argument ensues and things get tense, so Andre goes to the bathroom to calm down. The players don't realize the game is still going and the terrorists they killed are revived. One of them corners Andre in the bathroom and he only gets to close his helmet before he gets shot down. He wants to heal himself, but he's already used the serum on Carl. The others hear noises and close their helmets too, only for Edward to immediately get shot down. The group runs to hide and Taylor tries taking the stairs, but the level isn't completed yet, so she's blocked. Soon the terrorists are opening fire and the team defends themselves the best they can. Edward heals himself with a serum while Andre drags his bleeding body through the corridors. When Adam throws a grenade, he kills all the remaining enemies and the level is finally over with Adam taking the high score. Without the gunshots, the team can finally hear Andre asking for help. At that moment, Andre opens his helmet and hears a timer before his brain is electrocuted, causing him to convulse for several minutes. By the time the others find him, Andre is already dead. Shelley tries doing CPR to no avail. The voice announces they can proceed to the next level, but the group doesn't want to play anymore. They notice some blood on the ground and realize the helmet killed Andre, so they try to take them off, but it's impossible. Zahid panics and grabs a fire extinguisher as he asks for help with a test. Carl volunteers and hits Zahid with the extinguisher a couple of times, but the helmet still won't come off. At that moment they're called into the game by the sergeant, who walks right through Carl before kicking Zahid a few times to punish him for breaking the rules. Since the sergeant warns them about punishments for not playing, the group has no choice but to keep moving. They go through several levels without much trouble, although on each floor they must learn to use new weapons and deal with new game mechanics. In the room with a gas leak they can't use fire weapons and instead they have to get knives to fight hand to hand. Having to kill someone face to face makes Taylor's anxiety worse and Shelly promises her she'll get her out of there. As they continue to go down, most of the team loses their vests. During a serious gunfight both Carl and Adam get shot down, so Shelly and Marco help them with their serums. A few hours later the group takes a break and discovers it's nighttime in real life. Tired of being in the game, they use various objects to start hitting the windows and Zahid manages to crack the glass using a cart. At that moment the sergeant appears again and starts beating Zahid up with much more strength than last time. Zahid tries to run away by taking the stairs, but the sergeant kicks him down and the resulting fall causes Zahid to break a leg. Before leaving, the sergeant announces that the next person who tries to escape will be killed. The team rescues Zahid and notices that that wound is in real life but not in the game, so they can't use the serum. The computer voice reminds them that they need to move, so Zahid asks them to hide him and leave without him. The group puts him down behind some furniture and minutes after they leave, Zahid dies of blood loss. On the next level, Marco argues with the others over the new weapons and the distraction allows a hidden enemy to shoot him in the rear. While the team fires back, Taylor runs to hide in a bathroom stall. After lots of shooting a grenade ends the fight again and Shelly helps Marco with a serum. The team realizes Taylor is missing and goes looking for her. A terrorist appears in the bathroom and starts checking the stalls one by one. Shelly hears him so she bursts through the door and stabs the guy first. The level ends and Edward gets the high score, putting him in first place on the board. While taking a break, the team discusses their lives and realizes all of them have no family, which means they were chosen because nobody would look for them. This way they can get killed and the company won't get consequences. The group moves to the next level and finds the sergeant beating up a hostage. He explains there's a bomb in the basement that will blow up the building and kill them all if they don't stop it soon. The only way to disarm it is to get the code from the hostage. Since the guy is connected to voltage transmitters, Edward doesn't hesitate to start electrocuting him without mercy. After begging for his life to no avail, the terrorist says a word and Adam writes it on the computer. However, this actually activates the bomb and there are only 30 minutes to manually override it before it explodes. While the sergeant leaves, the hostage laughs at them and Taylor kills him. A furious Marco blames Adam for this and tries punching him but gets his hand hurt on the helmet, so he opens it to punch his actual face. When Taylor tries to stop him, she gets hit as well. At that moment the sergeant's yelling voice can be heard saying he's holding the elevator door open. The team rushes to get inside and the elevator starts going down, only to stop rather abruptly. The doors don't fully open so Marco pulls to create enough space for everyone to come out. However, when Adam tries to leave Marco blocks him as punishment and they both end up stuck inside. The elevator takes them to the third floor and closes after they come out. The duo sees a crashed helicopter outside the window before they start advancing through the level. Marco forces Adam to go first and Adam manages to kill a terrorist, but he also runs out of ammo. This doesn't stop Marco from pushing Adam ahead, keeping him as a shield. This allows Marco to run and hide while Adam is shot down, and in a few seconds he's dead. With only 15 minutes left Marco has a breakdown, but he doesn't hesitate to move when the voice announces this level is finished. Meanwhile on the fourth floor, the rest of the team finds some weapons and starts searching the area. Suddenly a terrorist throws a smoke grenade and Carl has to step back as he has a panic attack. Shelly rushes to check on him and Carl explains he lost his girlfriend during the fire that gave him the scar. He blames himself for not saving her and now smoke is a trigger for him. With a few words, Shelly calms him down and convinces him to keep moving. The team continues to go through the different levels and reaches floor 1 with almost no ammo. While the others keep fighting the terrorists, Taylor searches the area and finds some serum. Suddenly Marco appears behind her and asks for the injection but Taylor refuses, so Marco shoots her to death. When Carl comes looking for Taylor, Marco pretends he's being attacked and ignores him. Carl finds Taylor's body and after freaking out, he sees she's written Marco's username with her blood. A furious Carl opens his helmet and attacks Marco in real life, landing a few kicks before trying to choke him. However, Marco pushes Carl against a wall and brings him down to hit him until they separate. Carl retaliates by hitting Marco with a fire extinguisher but Marco kicks him off. When Marco gets ready to shoot Carl, the sergeant appears and starts beating him up. After a few punches, the sergeant grabs Marco by the neck and strangles him until he dies. After finding the bodies, the 3 remaining players start making their way down with only 7 minutes left. When they reach the basement, the voice says this is the final level. The trio grabs the new weapons and searches the floor, killing the terrorists they find along the way. Whenever there's an opening they try to move toward the bomb, but the enemies just keep coming. Carl throws a grenade and finishes the fight, so now they can move faster. However, a surprise terrorist appears in a van and quickly shoots Carl down while Shelly and Edward run to hide. While Carl searches for his serum injection, Shelly hears there are only 2 minutes left and tries to run to the bomb, only to be shot down too. Carl gets shot again as he moves toward her and heals her instead. He tells her to win before dying by her side. Edward then uses a bazooka to kill the last enemy and runs to stop the bomb with just a second left. Afterward, the sergeant shows up to congratulate them on winning. Edward starts repeating the sergeant's speech, revealing he's been the company's inside guy all along. The simulation ends and a bunch of men in black come in to put Shelley to sleep before they start cleaning the building and getting rid of the bodies. The game server deletes all the information on the players and initiates the shutdown sequence. In the morning, Shelley wakes up in her normal clothes and finds Edward in a suit helping the crew take care of everything. He gives her the bag with the cash prize, and when she threatens to go to the police, he points out nobody will believe her. When a man tries to sedate her again, Shelley fights back and injects him instead. Then she steals his gun and shoots all the lights in the parking lot. Edward sends his men after her, but after all the experience Shelley got in the game, she easily kills them all. When Shelley comes out, Edward begs for his life, but she kills him too with no mercy. Then she leaves the building without taking the money. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.